Hi, everybody. Welcome to the astrology chat for September 11th, 2024. So the key for today is do not be afraid to make a move. Be balanced, be strategic, allow yourself to find that middle line between being bold, but also being graceful, allowing yourself to have courage, but not being a bully, but also not shrinking from the development of your own fortitude and diligence when there is oppositions and things aren't easy. Especially this long journey of Mars in Cancer, it's not about avoiding or waiting. It's about learning how to have strategy and make moves, even when the timing isn't quote unquote perfect. And I say this because we have a two-part day. We have the moon in Sagittarius. The moon's going to be in Sagittarius until 8:20. Then we have a void until 10:30, and then the moon moves into Capricorn. And all of the action is really while the moon is in Sagittarius. And then by the time the moon moves into Capricorn, you're going to be more considering what to do with the information or how to adjust with the things that you've learned. But while the moon is in Sagittarius, it's going to make a square to the sun in Virgo, which means that you're going to have to find a balance between like going for those long-term visions, but making those short-term immediate changes to get to where you want to go. We have an opposition to Jupiter and Gemini, so things are bigger. You have to make sure that you're not going overboard, make sure that you're not just doing something to do something. Also, this means that you also have to make sure you're placing things in perspective. It's all right to feel intensely. It's all right that things are a big deal, but you do have to be very mindful of having all or nothing thoughts or feelings or perspectives. Your back, even if it feels like it, is not actually against the wall. You're learning how to strategize. You're learning how to have vision. You're learning how to make moves with new information or do with what you have, what you can. We do have a trine to Chiron retrograde, which really does, again, help you with this opposition, with this tension, develop faith in yourself, apply your lessons of healing, putting yourself outside of your comfort zone so that you get comfortable with this new you. We also have in conjunct to Uranus, so there is, again, a wild card here. You can't control everything. You don't need to control everything. You just need to be aware of who you are and what you're going to do and respond accordingly. And that also means sometimes not responding how you want to, especially with some of the other aspects we have. Some people might say some stuff out the side of their mouth and you just fall back because, or don't fall back. If you got to hold somebody to be accountable in that moment, do so with grace, do so with class. Definitely have your boundaries. Don't be afraid to enforce your boundaries, but at the same time, you don't have to be a bully, Then we have a square to Neptune retrograde, which means people are going to be talking out the side of their mouth. Not everything is what it appears to be. A lot of people are moving out of injured egos. A lot of people can't handle how time has brought about change. And some people just don't like accountability. Again, this isn't about what other people are doing. It's about what kind of person you're going to be. And I say this even more so because Mercury sextile Mars, and I think this is a beautiful aspect, right? Mercury sextile Mars can make you really, really bold, right? It can make you able to say what you have to say. It can make you quick-minded. It can make you really fast on your feet. There's a little bit of a verbal strategy here. I'm seeing a lawyer in the middle of a heated but very good legal argument. But then at the same time, you do have to know when to cut your losses, right? So there is a balance. This is Mars that's in its quote-unquote detriment in Cancer. So it is learning when something is important to fight for. You do have to, again, make sure you have balance and everything. And then we also have Venus in tension with Saturn, right? And this is the young lover Venus who is having a conversation with Saturn, who's very stern. And there is a balance here, right? I keep saying balance, balance, balance. There's a balance between what you want to do now and what you have to do to get to where you're going. There's a balance between having your boundaries and asserting yourself and not being a jerk, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to practice. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you tomorrow.